So what's up with simultaneous equations? Yeah, there I said it. It's like mathsy word for you. But so the last video we talked about linear models, linear equations, and like straight lines, right? So your line either goes up or either goes down. What was the thing? Yeah, so our tradie over here, he's made a bunch of money, you know, money over time. But you might be asking yourself, what happens if there's more than two lines? You know, what's the deal with that? What's up with that? Well, let me introduce you to one of my absolute favorite topics in algebra, known as simultaneous equations, or in Singapore we call it simultaneous equations, but more on that. So, you know, the cost of living is quite high in Melbourne. I'm sitting in the back of my car, well, not in the back of my car, in front of my car right now, and people are doing it tough, right? You're either going to work, trying to go to work, you don't know, should I take the tram in today, the train, should I get a scooter? Scooters. Yes, scooters. So let's talk about using a scooter versus buying a car. So let's talk about a situation where you are going to spend $1,000 on a scooter, right? And what's the Mikey these days? Let's say it's $8 per day for your Mikey, right? So we talked about this the other video, and we learned about this idea of the rate of change. So really, once you've bought the scooter, the rate of change for your line, your expenses over time, if you may, would just be your Mikey fees, right? So if I were to draw a little graph of same deal here, we've got money over time. We're gonna expect to start at, say, $1,000, and then we're just gonna go up by $8 a day. So really, our graph is gonna look, this is other pen here, a little bit like this, right? It's just a straight line, and that's looking all right. Yeah, so we're starting at $1,000, and that's day zero. We'll rock up to that e-scooter place and bought our e-scooter, and then all we're spending every day is just the Mikey fare, right? So let's start here. Zero, we'll go 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 days, 5 days, whatever, so on and so forth. So it'll look a little bit like this. I know it's a little bit washed out, but yeah, there you go, it's focusing there. Okay, and so I'm going to introduce you to this idea of the break-even point. This point where you spend all this money and you actually break even. Okay, so we're going to compare this with another situation where, say, you're spending money on a car. Okay, so let me model a scenario for you. Another one over here. We're going to use another piece of paper. So let's say you are a savvy person and you've just jumped on carsales.com.au. You found yourself a beautiful, I don't know, Toyota, and you've taken out a loan for the car, and you've locked down, let's say you're paying $200 a month or whatever. So let's just call that $200 a month. Okay, so $200 a month for your car. Let's say insurance, car insurance, let's go on the high side. Let's say you are paying about $2,000 a year in car insurance. Petrol, how much do I spend in petrol? Okay, let's go like $100 a week. Alright, so you got your car loan, you got your insurance, you've got your petrol. Let's say every year you do a car service, $350 per year in car service. So right now, that's what we have for our costs. We've got, the loan, you've got the car, you're driving a swanky new Toyota Corolla hybrid. You're paying $2,000 a year in insurance, $100 a week in petrol, $250 a year in service. Now, if I were to crunch those numbers real quick and figure out like a per day type deal, well, let's just put it all together, shall we? $200 per month, the car loan, times 12 months in a year. So we're at $2,400 for our yearly car payments. We already know that the insurance is going to take me $2,000 a year, so we're all good for that car insurance. And then $100 a week in petrol. With 52 weeks in a year, so that's $5,200 every year in petrol. And then for our car servicing, we've got $350. So that's my car service. So all up, we'd be looking, so we're just going to add up these numbers here. I've got $2,400 a year. I've got $2,000 in car insurance. I've got $5,200 in my petrol and $350 in my car servicing for a grand total of $9,950. Just correct me if I'm wrong. My numbers should be okay. All right, so we've got our costs per annum. That word per annum means per year. The word annum is a Latin word for annual, by which you get our word annual, which means year. So let's do this. So 9,950 divided by 365, and we are, let me get my trusty calculator over here. Let's see what's the daily cost. How about that? All right, so we've got $9,950 divided by 365 days. So we are at, there it is, $27.26 for a car. It's actually not bad, isn't it? $27 and what was that number? 65 cents? Let's see, $27.26. Let's just round this down. Let's call this $27 even. $27 per day for a car. So now that we've got our daily cost for the car, we can then go back to our initial graph over here and graph this over time. So assuming we're starting, well, we're not, there's no real outlay. You get the car, you rock up and you just pay after the first. Okay, so let's just start at $0, right? And then we're gonna go up, 27 bucks every day. My graph is gonna look a little bit like this. So this is car ownership, and this one is scooter ownership.